slip it out, do a little more rubbing on the top. The hot dog trick feels so good where he slides his cucumber in between your pastrami lips. Welcome back. It's your host, Hallismmith, for another episode of Girlhood. Today, we are talking about an amazing fun thing I did last night, which was some backdoor play. I took it up the ass. Now, it is one of my favorite things to do because if you are somebody that constantly struggles, ladies, to reach the finish line, you cannot get your O. You're like, girl, I try everything, any position, the toy, everything. Like, I just cannot finish sometimes when I'm with him. You need to be trying some backdoor play because, darling, I can literally finish in less than a minute. It feels so good when they are doing it right. But you have to know how to do it right and you have to want to. I always think of my best gay friend because he was like, Hallie, you have to want it up there. If you do not want it, if you are not craving it in your back door, like you just need it, you're scratching up the walls if you do not have his cucumber back there, then you're not going to take it. I woke up yesterday and I was in the mood. I was just ready for it. I was just like, you know what? My ass is ready. I was just like, my back door is ready for some fun today. I'd kind of been thinking about it. I was like, that could feel good. And I'd been thinking about it for a few weeks. And then yesterday I woke up and that was the day. I wanted it up there. It's so funny when you think of your friends in the bedroom. I'm like, have you ever thought of me in the bedroom? You're giving your man some sloppy toppy and you're like, oh wait, pink water bottle girl, Hallie said to try this double hand twist. Or I wonder if guys are doing it. They're like, what? I should try that pink water bottle girl technique where I'm eating her. Are you guys thinking of me in the bedroom? That's when you guys know you're really good friends of somebody, when you're thinking of their spicy tips or something they said and you're going to Pound Town and you're thinking about your best friend. You're like, oh shit, I'm going to have to tell her about what he just did because that felt so good. But no, I really wanted it yesterday and I was like so ready. And I just went to the spicy store and I picked up a bunch of fun stuff. And so last night, we lit the candles, we put on some music because you need to make a production of it. It's not like regular Pound Town. You can crack anywhere, in a car, outside, at the beach. It's like that one, what's Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat? You can eat green eggs and ham with a fox in a box on a, train, whatever. You can do it anywhere, okay, doing the deed. But backdoor play, you want to make it a special event. You want it to be lights, camera, action. You want it to be romance. Have them wine and dine you. I used to have my man eat me out forever, give me a full body massage. We'd go out to dinner. It was this whole ordeal. Now I'm a little more used to it, so I don't take as much preparation, but it still is preparation. We light the candles, play the music. This is the one time that I will say play music when you go to Pound Town is when you're doing some backdoor play because you need to be focused. You need to be locked in, but you also want some background ambiance to help you relax and maybe that awkwardness that you're feeling. If you're not used to having a guy eating your back door, you might be a little bit scared, but nothing is hotter than when a man takes down your undies and he just gets back there on your peach. He's face nose in there deep, just going for it. Like he's sniffing it. He's whiffing your back door like a mother freaking Yankee Candle, vanilla scented Christmas breeze. Like he wants his face in there, especially because something is hot about the taboo-ness, the back door. Nothing's supposed to be back there, but he is in it. He is deep in there. He's whiffing it, sniffing it, licking it. He is having fun. Oh, I love when a guy is eating it from the back and does that little lizard tongue poke. If you guys want to feel some good eating, have him spread your cheeks and do that little tongue poke where it's like, where it's kind of like sliding into your back door. It feels heavenly. So he's warming it up, okay, ladies? He is going to be eating you out, prepping it, doing everything he can. And then he's going to add a little finger action, kind of pressing on the spot feels really good. Kind of get used to that. I always say, like, if you're nervous about the back door, you just got to get used to that sensation. But having them slip a finger in, maybe a thumb, you can easily do that and it kind of glides into your back door. Then you're more relaxed and more ready for him to maybe try his whole entire cucumber. But you need to use some good silicone lube. But ladies, I messed up. I went to the spicy store. I bought so much, but the one thing I didn't know that I was out of was silicone lube. I had all my water-based. I love this one. This is my Lilo personal moisturizer. This one's water-based, but water-based dissolves quickly when you're doing backdoor play. Silicone is gonna stick. It's gonna stay around there because you will literally feel it. Your back door, your little starfish, your starfish is like a clock. You will feel exactly where it's dry. So you can tell your partner, hey, it's a little dry at 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock because that little ring, like if you're doing backdoor play, for guys, it feels like a ring. Kitty feels like an entire glove. Like the whole thing is just sliding over it. The entire cucumber is being gripped when it's sliding in and out of you. But on the cucumber, when it's in the back door, it feels like just a ring sliding through. It's just like that little tight ring that goes up and down. But once he's inside, he feels less of it there. So if he does feel tightness or you feel dryness anywhere on your starfish on that little ring, have him put some more slube on there, have it ready. And ladies, the back door, it's gonna get a little messy. And by messy, I just mean lube. You're gonna have lube everywhere when you use some backdoor play if it's silicone based. So put a towel down so you can wipe his hands, have some baby wipes, and do not be worried about a little bit of chocolate smear. If he is brave enough and wants to put his cucumber in your back door and he gets grossed out by a little bit of chocolate sauce, he is not a man, and he's being a little bitch boy, because if he wants to stick his whole entire cucumber, but he can't handle a little chocolate sauce, he's not the one. He doesn't deserve that because obviously he's not mature enough to be handling it. But do put some baby wipes because there might be a little smear. You just grab it, wipe it, clean it, and go back to work. Luckily, last night I was clean. I had a regular dinner. I had a delicious chicken Caesar salad with French fries that I made at home, but it was no problem because I felt in my stomach like I was good. Just like I say, like, you gotta want the D. You also kind of like, you will know if your stomach is ready or not ready for some backdoor play. Like if you feel like, oh, I might have to toot, maybe wait a little bit before you ease into backdoor. Let yourself digest. Go for a nice little evening walk after dinner to let your stomach digest nicely before you go to backdoor play. And remember, afterwards, you're gonna need a shower because silicone slube does not come off. Like, you'll be wiping and wiping, you'll be trying to wipe it off with like water. It does not come off easily. I had to immediately hop in the shower afterwards because I was covered in slube. He should be enjoying you like a freaking 4-course meal before you guys get ready to go to the back door, okay? He should be going down on your kitty cat, giving you some love. Ugh, guys, I accidentally blue balled myself a few days ago. My man was going down there. He was giving me a good munchin. He was doing my favorite tricks. He was doing this thing called the rock, okay? So if a guy really wants to be a munch, he needs to do the rock. He will pretty much be eating you out with your legs like this, okay? Eating the kitty cat, and he's gonna grab your thighs right here and kind of rock you back and forth so that he can use his tongue and be going, while you're kind of rocking. He's getting a better angle on your kitty cat, and he's like rocking you back and forth and using his tongue at the same time. Ugh, it feels heavenly. I love it. But another thing that I absolutely love is opening the curtains. No, all my legs, all the leg work. Opening the curtains. If you're a real munch and you're not opening her curtains, what are you doing? Yes, we're all focused on eating the bean and using your tongue and inserting with the fingers. But what about the extra meat? What about the lips? They have more sensations than other parts of the cat. Like, men like to forget about that, but that entire area around your kitty cat has so many nerve endings. So I love it where a guy, he's eating it out, kind of does this little curtain trick where he spreads it. So he's eating it, he's using his tongue, but at the same time, he's lightly pulling at and opening your lips a little bit and doing this gentle movement. And especially if you want to be a real munch, go down to her kitty cat, usually where you're using your fingers so much, and instead lightly just halfway kind of like tickle and do this little curtain pull movement where you're just like lightly grazing your fingers, but at the same time, you're still using your tongue like this. When you're going to be going for the back door, have him give you some in out beforehand, then go to your back door, have some fun, maybe do a little just regular pound town. When you're really turned on and you're really stimulated, then you can start actually trying the back door stuff, have the schlube ready, the candles lit, the atmosphere is good. Always use a toy. Ladies, the secret weapon to enjoying the back door is having a toy, because I always hold a toy on my kitty cat at the same time. That way I'm just getting as much pleasure as possible, as much sensation. The problem is I sometimes finish too soon because the second he slips his cucumber into my back door and I have the toy at the same time, it is so much pleasure that I literally finish within 2 minutes. I have learned, ladies, when you feel it, like, you're gonna know this sounds crazy, but your back door is gonna be like, okay, this, and he's gonna be sliding it in and out, just tip just a little bit and then a little more, and it's gonna feel a little tighter and tighter, but then it's gonna start to feel good. I know this sounds gross, but it's gonna feel like you're taking a okay? It's gonna feel like you're going, yeah, it's gonna feel like you're doing number 2. And that sounds weird, but then it starts to feel good, and then it feels weird, and then it feels good, and then it's just gonna feel really good. Do not hold the toy at the same time, because then you are gonna finish and it's gonna be too soon. But do not fret, because actually, if you do finish too early, when he is giving you those back shots from behind and you finish too early from the back door, always go for round 2, okay? Because actually your muscle is already relaxed. That starfish is already a little bit looser, a little bit easier. Take a breather, take like 5-10 minutes, cuddle, kiss, do your thing, 20 minutes, whatever. Then go for round 2 of backdoor. You're gonna notice instead of having to do all that extra warm up and prep, it's already kind of ready. It'll just slip right in. And then you've already finished once. So the second time you can last a little bit longer. I always notice the second time, the second round, when we're doing some backdoor stuff, I always am so much more ready and easier to go into it. And as well, position matter, guys. You want a man who's gonna want to devour your starfish, okay? But start on your stomach, maybe do start missionary. Then once you've done a few times a backdoor play in missionary in the speed bump on your stomach, then you can try riding or maybe reverse cowgirl or just getting on top or doggy even, which is very intense. Wait till later. But you want to always start with a beginner pose. Then you can ease into other positions. And I always say, ladies, it doesn't have to be super intense. The back door can be gentle, it can be slow. You can really mess around with it, but it feels so good. And I just think more women should know about it. And I think lots of women are scared of it because of all the, like, oh, it's painful, it hurts. It should never, ever hurt. But if you do want to start doing some backdoor play, if you want to see a man worship the ground you walk on and throw his Amex card at you, you need to get one of these, okay? This is a beautiful plug. You see this little shiny diamond rhinestone? If you like it, then you better put a ring on it. No, if you like it, you better put a plug in me. This feels so good. Ladies, if you put in one of these, it is going to give you so much stimulation. If you want to get into backdoor play, if you want to get into that kind of fun with your man, introduce a little bit of a plug first on yourself, okay? Maybe next time you guys are going at it, slip this in and just crack like you usually would, go to Pound Town, do missionary, doggy, whatever, but have this inside of you. This will add so much delicious extra stimulation that you will reach the finish line so much quicker. You will have such a better O because when you have him in your kitty cat and then this in your back door and maybe some rub-in or a toy on your actual bean, oh, you are gonna black out and have the best O of your life. It is heavenly. But you can start with a plug and gradually build up. They have bigger sizes, they have weighted ones, they have so many different types. This one is super hot because seeing that little rhinestone sparkle, men are so visual, which is why plugs are so hot. If you want to surprise your man, go to the bathroom real quickly, slip one of these up there, put on your cute little pajama set or lingerie. When he takes off your undies and sees you already have the plug in, he is going to be drooling. He is going to want to devour you like a delicious piece of cake, okay? Because they just look super hot and men are so easy. They're so easy. Men are so visual. Add a little sparkle. They love a shiny object just like a girl does. So put this up there. And ladies, if you're nervous about using a plug with him, try it by yourself. Do some solo play. Do a little DJ set, wiki by yourself, and use a plug next time. And you, trust me, it feels so good. Even if you're just using your toy by yourself and you put one of these in, it feels amazing. And this is a small one. Okay, this is a smaller one. I have bigger. But they have even smaller. If this intimidates you, you can go even tinier. They have even tinier ones. They have different styles, sizes, and weights. This one is lightly weighted. I would say this one's like a beginner medium. But this one is really good to get you into it and slowly building up to just having a sensation back there. And plugs feel so good, even if you're just using it when you go to Pound Town with your partner and you have one in by yourself, or if you're trying to build up gradually to getting to actually his cucumber in your back door, start using a plug. These are so underrated. Not enough people use it and they're kind of intimidated by them, but they're actually so easy to use and beginner friendly. Literally just play with your back door a little bit, give her a little warm up, and that thing just pops right in. And then you just slip it out and there's no problem. No mess, no fuss, easy, good to go. It's that time of the episode, Q&A time. All right, first question. Girl, this is so awkward. I've been on the pill for over a year and my man just gave me my first cream pie, but I am so scared that I am preggo. What do? I cannot get over this fear. If your guy just finished his frosting in you for the first time and you're freaking out because you're like, I'm pregnant, baby, breathe. We've all been there. Even if you're using protection, you're on the pill, you do everything right, you're still gonna get paranoid because usually when you're newer to things or the first time you've ever had a guy finish his frosting in there, you just get unnecessarily paranoid. Like when I was young, I would freak out. I would get a pregnancy test. I would drink crazy drinks I saw on the internet. It was like drink turmeric and this and that. And like, this is what helps to avoid a pregnancy. I would do all this crazy shit because I'd be so paranoid, even if I knew I used protection and was on the pill. But it's just like this irrational fear that you get. Now, yes, it can be rational. Yes, things do happen. Birth control is like 99.9%. It's not 100%. There are human error if you're not taking the pill at the same time every day. But for the most part, you should be fine. If you're really stressed about it, talk to your friend, she can help, ease you down a bit. Talk to somebody you're close with. And as well, you can do a test. You just have to wait like 1.5, 2 weeks before you can take usually a little bit of a pregnancy test. You can pick it up at the Dollar Tree, CVS, Walmart, wherever. You can grab one just to give yourself that peace of mind, but most likely you are completely fine. It is a natural fear. It is a natural reaction to be scared of getting preggo when it's your first time going to Pound Town. Even if you have the guy finish outside of you, it still gets really nervous. So don't feel bad. It's completely natural. You'll learn little by little to kind of like let go of that fear and know that everything's okay and that you're not, preggo. Next question. What do I do if my man is really sensitive on his cucumber? Like he cannot handle any action down on his tennis balls or any intense movement on his actual pink water bottle? I don't know what to do. Okay, if your man has a little bit of a sensitive pink water bottle, I've got just the trick for you. You need to use your mouth like if your man has a sensitive pink water bottle, you want to use it more like an ice cream cone, okay? You are going to start more with your tongue and less with the suction because if he's sensitive, if his cucumber can't take it, you can't be doing all that and pulling on the tennis balls and adding that suction because it's going to hurt. What you want to do is treat it more like an ice cream cone. You're going to just slurp, slurp, slurp all over there, okay? On the tennis balls, instead of grabbing and adding all that intenseness, just give a little lick. That will feel so good, but it'll give that same sensation. Same thing on the up part of his water bottle, on the actual base of it. Use your mouth around, go to the tip, swirl a bit, swirl left, right, counterclockwise, whichever way you want to go. But use more of tongue action and less intense suction. Now, when you're actually giving brain, if he's more sensitive, instead of super suction and tightening your lips on it and like being like an inhaler, instead kind of just let it graze and slide over your lips, but without any suction, or let it glide over the tongue, but you're not adding any like tightness around it. You're kind of just letting it slide over your lips and in and out without adding a super intense hand. Now, if you want to add your hands, you're just going to be super gentle, adding like a hard tug or tightening. You're just going to graze. Like, have you ever kind of scratched your arm and given a nice graze? If he has a sensitive cucumber, just graze your hand on it, like lightly grazing. Go around the top, lightly graze with your fingers, kind of do some of this, but just lightly grazing instead of yanking and tugging. And it will feel just as good and not hurt him because some guys do have more sensitive cucumbers. Some are very, it kind of depends if they're circumcised or unsnipped. But some guys do have more feelings, so they can't handle as much intenseness. And it's kind of nice. You don't have to do as much work. Hey, girly, I just want to know if you have some advice for me. When I'm going to Pound Town with my boyfriend, I cannot feel it. It doesn't hurt, but I don't really feel anything. Girl, this is completely normal. Most women get really paranoid because, like, when the P and the V is going in and out, you don't really feel anything. That's because your cervix doesn't have as many receptors on the inside as it does the outside, which is why it's so important for women to have extra stimulation on the bean, on the outside, on the lips, all of that little outside area, the meat, okay? The pastrami is where you really have the good sensations. So honestly, instead of having him always just pounding, boom, 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 have him take it out. Have him slap it on your kitty cat. Oh, guys, it feels so hot when a guy kind of gives that little knock knock on your kitty cat. Like he kind of does like a little tap tap before he slips it in. Have him kind of slide it like a hot dog bun, literally on your little lips, on the meat. Have him slide just on the outside, his cucumber a little bit. Have him tap it a little bit, then go back inside, then slip it out, do a little more rubbing on the top. The hot dog trick feels so good where he slides his cucumber in between your pastrami lips. Add in more stimulation during other positions. Maybe you are riding or doing it from behind, doggy. At the same time, either have him or yourself rubbing. If you're face down, thumb up, grab your hand and rub the kitty cat. So while he's giving it to you, you're getting extra stimulation. If you're facing him riding, have him rub it. You're perfectly spread and open to have him rub right there at the same time. Always add in that little extra stimulation throughout. That way you're going to have more feeling. It'll feel better. If you are more sensitive, you don't really have as much feeling down there, try some icy hot play. Maybe use a little ice cube down there. Or maybe you can pick up some different, they have different lubes that have a little sting or a cooling effect that might help if you have less feeling down there on the sensation around your lips or kitty cat. Next question. Hey, I need some help. I have a really small cervix. It takes me a minute to warm up And then when we are going mid-pound town, if it slips out and it gets too dry, it's impossible to get back in. I'm super nervous and I don't know what to do because it's so annoying. If you have a small cervix, it slips out, it's really tight, you can't get it back in. You want to find easier positions that kind of open you up a little bit more. I know that sounds weird, but positions that are less intense. So doggy, not that great. Although it spreads and it's really nice, it's really easy to get dry during doggy. I find better positions are things like the speed bump where you lie flat on your stomach because it kind of lets the cheeks and the kitty, it stays wetter and more moist. I know that's a weird word, but it lets it stay wetter and it stays more juicy down there. Or the spoon. I love spooning. He's from behind, you're laying on your side and kind of slipping it in and out because it lets like the kitty cat juices keep it nice and marinated. And always, always, always add a little bit of lube. This is a good water-based one. This one you can just, okay? Keep some next to your bedside table. That way you can just add it in if you start to get a little dry. And even before you start, add some lube. Ladies get embarrassed. They're like, oh, lube's for older people. No, it's not. And it's not just when you start to get dry. Use it before you even start. Like when he's about to, okay, put his pink water bottle in, put some lube on it, rub it, and then put it in. If you do get a really dry kitty cat, like you guys are switching positions and it's getting drier and drier, and then you just smack some lube on it, it actually might not help because you're using lube the wrong way. Most people don't know this, but to use lube properly and keep it super slippery, you actually don't just want to put it on the outside of your kitty cat. Literally put some on your fingers and slip it a little bit inside your fingers, inside your cat. Get it nice and slippery, and then put a little more on the outside, put some on his cucumber, just at the tip, put a little bit there, then rub it. And then when you start going to Pound Town, you're gonna notice the lube lasts the whole time and a lot longer because it needs to be somewhat inside of you. It needs to get some of that liquid on the inside to then stay slipperier. Most people just smack it on the outside and then they keep running out and they keep using more. You got to get some on the inside. That's how to properly use lube. And that should help you stay a little bit juicier if you're having problems, like when you switch positions. You might just not be in a good position. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys are loving my new background. If you guys are watching the videos, you'll notice I have a really cute new pink background. I changed my podcast setup a little bit, but I hope you guys liked it, and hopefully this helped you get into some more fun in the back door. And at the end of the day, remember guys, when I talk about these things, this didn't just happen. I didn't go 0 to 100 doing the back door or trying these things or even anything in my life. It's been gradual, little by little, learning and trying and doing little bits and getting into it. So don't feel bad if you don't immediately like it or know what to do or are really good at these things. It's a learning process. I've done this little by little and gotten to my knowledge and understood myself and what I like and what I need in my relationship, physically, emotionally, mentally. I'm still learning too. So it's really a process. Don't beat yourself up, guys. If anything's ever uncomfortable in the bedroom or you just don't get it right away, like I have made so many mistakes and that's how I've learned. So don't be afraid of making mistakes or doing the wrong thing. It happens. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this episode of Girl Core.